What are the risks investing in gold? My man writes into me. I forgot his name off the top of my head. He said, Josh, given these crazy times, would you mind doing a video on the risks investing in gold and silver? And I emailed him back quite succinctly, what risks? And I will share what risk with you here as well. All right, so investing in gold and silver. Remember, I cannot stress this enough. You're not investing in gold and silver because you think inflation is going to eat you alive. That's not why you invest in gold and silver. You're not investing in gold and silver because you think it's going to outperform the markets. That's not why you invest in gold and silver. All right? You don't invest in gold and silver ETFs or mining companies that mine gold and silver. What you do is you literally invest in actual gold and silver coins, bullion, things of that nature, all right? And the reason you do this, and I've stated this 1,000 times, and I'll continue to state it because I got new people coming and going all the time. It's this simple. I had a client when I was at USAA, a black guy, black African. He had a big a business in, I want to say New York City. I'm drawing, it's been a long time, but anyway. And we're talking, and a real good guy, actually. So I love freaking immigrants who come here because they just kick ass and take names. But he had a whole crap load of gold coins. And I said, what are you doing with all that stuff? You know, you're going to sell it? What? You know what I'm saying? What's up? He goes, let me tell you something, Scanlon. He didn't say it like that, but he said, here's what happened. We were in Africa, our native country. I just always want, it's not Senegal, it's a black African country, you know, so it's sub-Saharan. I just can't remember Uganda, I can't remember what it was. It was Ivory Coast maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, and by the way, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life was from Senegal. So if anyone's from Senegal, I don't know if that's the way the ladies look there, but my goodness. I was a security guard at a old folks home in Occoquan, Virginia, while I was getting my degree. And the nurse there, was from Cinder. Oh, nicest woman you've ever met in your life. But just freaking insanely. I was like, it was just insanely gorgeous, man. I said, if that's the way the women are in Senegal, I'm moving to Senegal. That's her doggone shore, of course. And I got better with my wife, Charlotte. Just got to throw that out there in case someone said, whoa. But anyway, so if you're from Senegal and you're a man, what are you doing here, dude? Get back to Senegal, or at least find a lady and bring her here, because my goodness. Anyway, I can't remember what country this guy was from. Long story short, hit all this gold. I said, well, you know, you got a lot of gold, man. What's up? He goes, let me tell you, when the commies came, I think I want to say in the 70s or something like that. I think it was the 70s. You know, the Cubans were there, funded by the commie Russians. When they came in the 70s, his dad had some kind of business, textiles or something. I don't know what it was. Some kind of business, I just forgot. And he goes, they were executing all business owners as they approached our community. So we had to get a boat to flee us out of there. And the only way we could pay for someone to take the risk and put us on a boat to get us out of there was in gold. Not gold ETFs, not gold mining stocks, actual hardcore physical gold. That's it. And now he found his way to Miami on some freaking, you know, horrible ship somehow. Worked his way up to New York City. He and his dad and his family restarted their business. It just, I love these people, man. And then his dad dies, leave the business to the son. His son moves it back to Miami because in New York, he said New York is going nuts. I can't make a profit here, so I'm moving to a place where I can make a profit. Everyone inherently knows that true capitalism, entrepreneurship, is all about the ability to risk your assets, your capital, and squeeze out a profit. That's what capitalism is. No more, no less. That's it. You're taking your capital that you could use something else. You could buy a new Tesla. You could buy a vacation house. That's your capital. You're investing your capital into a profit-making enterprise where you can make money off your invested capital. The parable of the talents comes to mind. And in the interim, you employ people who don't want to take the risk of investing their capital. Maybe they don't have any. Maybe they'll acquire some as they work hard for you and diligently. So I hate these freaking idiots. And I get capitalism is a negative name. I guess Marx came up with it. I don't care. It's kind of like the N word or the F word or the whatever the words are that have been taken over, that have been used negatively against a certain group of people, and now taken back by that certain group. Hey, certain group of people. Do the same thing with capitalism. Stand firm with capitalism, man. Say capitalism is the way of life, the way of freedom. Not this corporatism crap. That's just straight fascism stuff. Anyway, point being is, so his dad used to flee his family by the communist horde that was coming and literally executing people in the 70s to come to the United States. My man starts his business in New York. They reclaim everything because they're risk takers, they're butt kickers, and they work hard. 30 years later, whatever it was, dad's dead. Son inherits the business. Son said, I'm getting the hell out of freaking New York because it's run by morons. I'm going to Florida. And I'm keeping my gold because you just don't know. That's why you invest in gold. And silver too. Because gold and silver, precious metals, are your way to escape when the commies come. Now, I'm not a fearmonger that says, Black Lives Matter is going to come and kill us all, or the Antifa. I don't buy any of that crap. But at the end of the day, in terms of any time soon, but at the end of the day, history is repeat with commie hordes coming. And you can call them Muslim hordes, you can call them Christian hordes, you can call them commie hordes, you can call them Robespierre, you can call them whatever you want, man. Napoleonic, I don't care. It's replete or repeat, one of those two words, maybe both, with it happening. When that happens, how do you get on your boat to flee? How do you get on your horse and buggy to flee? What do you do to remove yourself so that way you can run away and live to fight another day? Gold and silver, precious metals. It's just that simple. Now, part two of this. So I don't care what gold has done to it. Everyone's like, gold will keep up with, that's stupid. If you bought in 1980, gold has not kept up with inflation. It's just, people say this, I chuckle because it's like, oh my goodness. Because don't forget, there's limitations. You couldn't even own gold from 1935 on because FDR made you illegal, a criminal by owning gold. That's a fact. So don't tell me that gold will keep up with inflation. It's silly. Anyway, point being is what gold can do is get you out of Dodge when the commies are coming. It's just that simple, man, because people like gold. They've liked it for thousands of years. Presumably they'll continue to like gold. Oh no, Bitcoin will replace it. Silly. So what you got to do though, you don't want just a bunch of gold ounces, my friends. All right, you have to have gold be able to be divvied up. And I was reading an article where a guy went to the United States, or went to Romania, I think it was, and during Cusco, whatever that guy's name was, the guy who got executed back in the mid-'80s. I forgot the article, but he was like, yeah, he went there with a bunch of $20 bills. He said, man, my $20 bills, I couldn't split up, and I could not. It was too big. It's too big to buy the stuff that I wanted to get. So he basically, what he ended up doing is almost essentially doing an import-export business. He goes, look, a $20 bill, I could buy 1 million widgets with this $20 bill. I don't need 1 million widgets. So if I had, 50-cent pieces, that would have been better, essentially. So what he ended up doing is buying, just massive amounts of widgets, because that's all I had was $20 bills, and turn around and selling those back to Americans for a little bit of a profit. How dare he? Anyway, the point being is the same thing. If you have a gold ounce, it's trading at $1,900 right now, something like that, $2,000, $1,800. Don't know, don't care, don't need to know. If you had a gold ounce that's trading at $1,900, and you just need someone to take you down to the airport for simplicity, you're not gonna give them a gold ounce to take you down to the airport, man. That's just dumb. What would you do? You give them 4 silver ounces, maybe 1/10 of a gold ounce, maybe a quarter. You know what I'm saying? If you need some eggs and chickens, you're not going to give them for 2 meat hens and a dozen eggs. You're not going to give them a gold ounce. That'd be dumb. So you need to have it set up where you can split it up a little bit, which is why silver is such a wonderful thing, because silver can act, and I think the price of silver is $30 an ounce or something like that. So you can load it up on a bunch of silver ounces while you're also loading up on gold quarters. And I mean like 25 cents. I mean like a quarter of an ounce, if that makes sense. That's what I would suggest. So the risk, well, the risk is opportunity cost. That's always a risk. You invest at X, That means inherently not investing in why. Why goes up, why goes down, why goes sideways. That's what your opportunity cost. You're missing out on whatever Y is doing because your proceeds are tied up into X. Opportunity cost of being a capitalist, i.e., instead of spending my money today on freaking bread and circuses, I'm investing it in my business enterprise. Opportunity cost. And sadly, a lot of businesses go kaput. So not only did you miss out on the growth of investing in Y, but your X investment went down, and so you're SOL. Which is why these liberals, actually not even liberals, it's freaking fascist on the left, they don't understand how capitalism works. Idiotic. I'm reading a thing, Christopher Hedges. I actually like his take on some stuff. He's a far lefty socialist. And just the level of economic stupidity boggles my mind for a guy that can see the world as it is in terms of, the one world government. But the fact, the economic stupidity is mind-boggling. He supports that chick in Seattle who's a socialist, and I just sit there. I'm like, I don't understand. You said there's not enough homes for the people in Seattle. So what's your solution? Rent control? Freaking, it's just so mind-boggling, idiotic. Mind-boggling, idiotic. There's not enough houses. Let's put rent control. The price of food's too high. Food insecurity. Let's put price controls. It's just freaking idiotic, man. You can make an argument, if you want, that making economic gains off the backs of your renters is not legitimate. You shouldn't be able to make economic gains by investing in homes that provide housing for your tenants. Well, that'd be a better argument to make than rent control. You can say, hey, look, man, we think everyone should own their own home and no one should be able to profit on renting to other people. Now, that's a better argument to make. It's freaking stupid, though. Because what if you don't want to own your own home? What if you're transient? What if you only want to live there for 2 years? What if? And at the end of the day, you could say, well, we don't want anyone to have more than one home. We're going to make it illegal to have home ownership. That's what you should do as opposed to rent control. Who lefties out there who are freaking just dumb. That's just dumb. But I mean, that's what you would do. Because rent control is a taking. We're saying we're going to take your capital and we're going to limit your ability to make a profit on it. Who gives you the right? Well, the state, the police state, the jackboots. Well, that's just dumb. What if I and my tenant have agreed upon terms of how much that person will rent it from me? Who's the state to come in there and say, I can't do that? Well, we know better than your tenant. Bull crap you do. My tenant knows what serves him best. If he doesn't like my price, he can leave. That's why the left is so freaking dumb. Trust me, the right's just as bad. The right's just as bad, but at least the right doesn't support gun control. And generally speaking, frown on abortion. And generally speaking, love the idea of free market entrepreneurship, where the left doesn't. It's crazy, though. It's funny watching this whole debate now between what was far lefties who recognize that the media is not their friend, is run by corporatism, who hate them. But now they see that because the media is cutting back on their ability to preach commie, which the media thinks is pro-Putin stuff. I chuckle because these lefties now who are kind of pro-Putin because they love commies, even though they're being shut down all over the place too on YouTube and various things on Facebook. I just chuckle. So where you been, dudes? You know what I'm saying? Where you been? But be that as it may, they can say the same thing about me. Where you been? Because they were anti-war, I was pro-war, and now I'm anti-war. And they're like, where you been? I get it, man. We all come to our place at our own due time, as long as you have the ability to think and hear and listen and observe. And sadly, a lot of people don't. It's sad, frustrating. All right, anyway, gold. Why you invest in gold? To deal when the commie hordes come. That's it. No more, no less. All right, we'll see you.